All right, shalom, shalom, shalom. All praises to the Most High, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, which is to say in the Paleo Hebrew, Yahweh, which is the name of our Heavenly Father, meaning He is, Bahashem, meaning in the name, Yahweh Shai, meaning He is our salvation. All right? And that is who the world ignorantly calls Jesus a so-called black man. All right. Now, what we have here and is presented before us is a case of what we're going to witness of a young man that goes by the name of Derrick, who has overwhelming evidence that this lady you see on the screen right here, his girlfriend, has committed adultery. Okay. She told him one thing and did another. All right. Now, under the laws of the Holy Bible, he would be well within his rights to put her away. And by put her away, I mean cease to allow her to exist on this earth. Okay. If we were in the ancient times and she was brought up on these charges, they would take her out to the gates and stone her. Okay. So he would be well within his rights to what they will call, quote unquote, be charged with domestic violence. Okay. But because we in this kingdom under Esau, Edom's rulership, we know that he doesn't have anything to do with the law, statutes, and commandments, yet alone the judgments. That's why the Most High told him, what hast thou done to keep thy law, seeing that thou hatest correction? Roughly paraphrasing. Okay, we may get that Abaratasa if I can remember. All right, so we're going to let this video play. We're going to see Derrick, a young, distraught man who's losing his wits over this woman. Because why? He found out that she cheated on him because she left behind a plethora of evidence, one being her smartphone on her watch or her Apple Watch phone. Okay? So we're going to let it play for a little bit. We may interject, and then afterwards we'll get a couple of precepts. Okay? So check it out.
No, you're not good, man.
I don't care about none of this, bro. What's going on? What do you mean?
Talk to me, man.
I'm not talking to you, bro.
Why?
I don't talk to police, bro.
Why not?
Bro, what do you mean, why not, bro? Have you been living in this world, bro? What do you mean, why not? Are you kidding me? And he really called the police, like, just saying.
Stop.
Stop acting now.
You're not going to walk through me. Hang on.
Oh yeah, let me also set the backdrop is that all three of these individuals are roommates. Okay, the young so-called black man here that goes by the name Derrick, he's a roommate with another, questionable guy. Whether he goes both ways, that's up to debate. I believe so. And then the culprit herself, his girlfriend, soon to be or now ex-girlfriend. They all live under one roof. See, this is that Bacchus, the Bacchus spirit, revelry, okay? Where you got the college dorm life where you got two men living under one roof with a woman. That's complete and utter chaos, man. Okay, but you get that in this society, man. Esau, Edom has nothing to do with the Bible, man, okay? But you have to understand, Jake, this is not your rest. So the women you get here are going to be polluted. It's just that simple, all right? So let's continue to let it play.
What happened? Be sure what the hell happened. I'm not gonna walk through you. You the boss.
You're damn right. Right now I am.
Okay.
What's going on, bro?
I'm not talking to you, bro.
Okay. Do not go in that closet.
I'm good, bro.
You can stand here and talk to him then.
And he has lost his wits to the fact or to the point that what? he's destroying the apartment, okay? Because, you know, first of all, you don't fall in love with a woman, man. So he done fell in love with a woman, and now he done had his quote-unquote heart broken, and he's just tearing up stuff in the apartment. Come to find out that it's her stuff, for the most part. All right, so many has lost their wits over women. All right, and perish. You see?
That stuff. Okay, makes more sense.
Derrick, is you slow?
Derrick, hey, listen to me. Better calm down, bro.
What's going on?
I'm calm. You better calm down.
Calm as can be.
Okay, that's cool.
Okay.
Derrick,
Bro,
look at the apartment, man. Look at the apartment.
I don't care about this apartment.
Okay, I understand.
See, and he's so distraught that he's ready to risk it all, man. He's ready to unleash on the police officers that were called there to do a specific job or task, okay? And after they arrest him and take him away from the scene, only then does he get a moment of clarity, okay? And snap out of this state that he's in right now, okay? Because the state that he's in right now is all but anything that, you know, you want to be in behind enemy lines, okay? Because Esau, Edom could look at anything and take it as a threat and execute that threat and take you out. So you have to be very wise behind enemy lines, man. This is what the Bible teaches us, man. Okay? As it says in 1 Corinthians, everything is lawful but not expedient, okay? We know in the ancient days that this woman would be stoned, man. Okay? But we know under Esau, Edom laws that is not expedient, okay? So you have to be well within the confinements of this man's society, man. All right? And understand that, hey, although you will be well within your rights according to the Holy Bible to stone her and the man that she cheated on with, okay? Both of them. And we're going to get that in the law too as well, because you can bet that he probably knew she had a boyfriend. See, and that's another thing, that boyfriend title, man. All right? That's your man, your husband. You know, if he goes inside you, that's your husband, all right? That's what marriage was signifying, two coming together as one flesh, all right? Not to put titles on like boyfriends and girlfriends to allow you to sleep around with as many people as you want, all right? But that's all under this debauched spirit, man, of what? You know, do what you want, okay?
I'm gonna leave. My girlfriend, my ex-girlfriend, she with some other dude right now.
Okay.
She said she's at her sister's house. She left her Apple Watch here. Okay. You can see the messages through her Apple Watch. Seeing all her messages, talking to all these other dudes. Okay. She said she went to the airport to pick up her friend. She went to go pick up some dude from Cleveland. She stopped sharing her location with me to go to the airport to go get her friend from Cleveland, right? Okay. She got a whole hotel with him. I see the message talking about she want to him again, all this other stuff. What do you expect me to do?
Now he has the overwhelming evidence of her saying that she wants to F him again, indicating that what? That she's already F'd him already before, okay? So by the laws of the Holy Bible, this is worthy of her being put out, man. And by put out, I mean being no longer on this earth, okay? Having her spirit go back into the spirit realm, all right? But under Esau, Edom laws, you know that's not expedient, man, okay? Because if you do that, you're going to be put behind bars, okay? And could even potentially lose your life, all right? So all things are lawful, but not all things are expedient, okay? So you have to keep that in mind when you're operating between the parameters of this man's society, man, okay?
Rockin' verse on my chest, heart rate on my wrist, keep the 401k, yeah, medium.
What do you expect me to do?
Holy, this is all her stuff?
Well, this is all our stuff.
see the message. We're supposed to be working on getting back together.
I get it, dude. If that's what's going on, I get it. Yeah.
So don't act like you're crazy, bro. Don't
Don't walk to look. Listen, man.
Bro, stop talking to me. I'm talking to
Okay, well, listen. If I'm standing here and you're walking at me,
bro,
and you're trying to push through
That's
me,
my roommate. I don't
okay,
know you.
then you could ask me to move.
Okay,
You don't just
move
push
out my
through
way
me.
so I can go talk to my roommate.
If that's the case, you give me respect, and I'll give you
Move out
respect.
the way so I can go talk to my roommate.
He doesn't want to talk
I'm
right
taking
now.
his information here.
He just doesn't want to talk right now. He's scared. He told me what's going on, man, and my heart hurts for that shit. Cannot be easy.
Bro, you can get my information. I'll get your information.
Jesus Christ. His girl broke up with him, and now she's with another dude right now. So the roommate says that he's been drinking all night.
Bro, I'm not drinking all night, bro.
That's what your roommate said. I
I
didn't
was
say you
asleep.
were.
I just woke up.
Hey, it's the police, man.
I'm seeing all these messages.
I get that's why you're mad. I 100% trust us. We all get
So
it.
what are you talking
no
about?
one's
Drinking all night, bro.
That's what I'm telling you. That's what he said.
That's why I'm about to go talk to him. Y'all won't let me talk to him.
Because he doesn't want to talk to you, bud.
Okay, so it's that. I don't want to talk to y'all.
That doesn't fucking make sense. Jesus Christ.
What's up, man? Just so we're understanding where you guys are roommates, you guys live here.
Yeah, because what the you did? You think we want to be here? No, because you act like a child, so we have to come out here and deal with it because you want to act this way. But everyone else is trying to live their life. You want to act like this, and then we have to come deal with it. And then you're going to be with us. Jesus Christ.
Why are you working on my life?
Because I care about you. I care about everybody.
You know me, bro.
I don't need to know you to care.
Bro, don't lie like that, bro.
Okay, then just go in your room and be mad.
I will, bro.
This.
And in case you don't know, under certain laws of the land, the police can lie to you or misguide you or mislead you in order to get information out of you, okay? That's why they have to read you your Miranda rights, all right? Because I believe it was a girl or a lady that went by the name of Miranda who wasn't treated right, so they had to impose a law to the extent that the police has to give you the rights to a attorney and not to talk to them if you don't see so fit, okay? Because why? They can mislead you or outright lie to you in order to get pertinent information out of you pertaining to the case, okay? So that's why they tell you you have the right to remain silent, all right? And if you give up your rights, that's on you. But they can, to the degree mislead you or outright lie to you in order to get information out of you to, solve a case as it would be, all right?
So the issue is, you're going to have to sue him civilly probably for all this stuff. Where?
I'm waiting on my peoples to come get me.
Okay, man.
Are you you're planning on leaving?
I'm leaving. What are you talking about? I'm leaving.
I'm asking.
Can I come in real quick?
Go ahead. What do you gotta act like this, man? You're sitting here acting like a
Put your
child.
hands on me, bro.
Don't walk towards me aggressively.
Bro, I'm not walking towards you
If
aggressively.
I'm standing in here, you walk towards me?
Bro, you in my apartment, bro. We just talking.
Okay. Look what you did to your apartment. You're acting like a
Okay,
freaking
then
child
it's
here.
my
How
apartment.
about you grow up? You're an adult. How old are you?
I'm old enough to be an adult.
Then act like one. Don't sit here and break all your roommate's stuff.
Bro,
Now he's got to deal
I
with
paid
it.
for this too.
He's got to deal with it, though.
I paid
It's
for
not
this
just.
too.
You're not.
He in his room.
Your actions are affecting him
His stuff
as much
is
as they're
good.
affecting you.
I'm not affecting me, bro. I'm letting all my emotion out.
Is this how he normally is? Are you guys like usually?
See there? I'm letting all my emotions out. That's why you're not supposed to fall in love with a woman, man. All right? You can love her, but you're not supposed to fall in love with her. Okay? There's a difference. There's a difference when you love something and then when you are in love with something. Okay? There's a big difference. You may love your mom or you may love your dad, but you're not in love with them. Okay? Just so you can get the difference of being in love with something and loving something. All right? It's two different things, man. All right? When you get head over heels, emotionally involved, you in love with something, man. Okay? And you're not supposed to be in love with anything outside of this truth. This truth is the only thing that you're supposed to be in love with. Why? Because it's permanent. Okay? Everything else is temporarily. Okay? But this truth is here to stay forever. All right? Wisdom, knowledge, and stability. All right? Wisdom and knowledge should be thy stability of thy times. Roughly paraphrasing Isaiah 33:6.
friends.
I mean, we're cool.
We can all understand why he's livid. We get it. Not saying his actions are okay by any means. The issue is with you guys being roommates.
He's mad at me. I don't.
Why is he mad at you?
Because
Did you say something?
No, I didn't say shit. There's something about I knew the whole time, and
Any threats like I'm gonna hurt you?
no, you just tried to knock.
You could tell he got a little sugar in his tank, man. You know, and this is all, you know, complete and utter chaos, man. You got two guys living in the same room or the same apartment with a woman that she is a whore, and he looks to be swing both ways, and then you got an overly emotionally charged Jake, man. All right, it was bound to spill over to this, you know, what we see right here.
My door,
This door?
like he literally, it's locked, and he somehow banged it open, and I just kept it shut with my hand.
Who's gonna clean this up? You?
Bro, she is, bro. She here. I'm making sure she see this, bro.
The she Derrick is referring to is his girlfriend. What officers don't know is that she is just moments away from showing up, and when she does, things go completely sideways.
Y'all gonna clean it up? No. So why you worried about who cleaning it up?
Because your actions are affecting him. You're acting like a
Worry
child.
about him, bro. He good.
You should be.
So the problem is you guys live together. So stuff is kind of like mutual property. You're gonna have to sue him for everything that he broke.
Not even,
basically.
he's like, because he was threatening her when she got home.
She's the victim. She has to be the one that wants to prosecute.
Don't just take classes, take charge. Start your comeback today at PurdueGlobal.edu.
You just have to tell her if she comes here and we have to come back out because there's an issue because they're arguing, then there's a good chance she's going to get arrested and him. Obviously, right now things are tense. Until he leaves, I would say she should not be here. We're not telling her she can't.
Yeah, if she lives here, she lives here.
If she lives here and wants to come here, she can.
But if we come back out, they're both getting arrested.
If there's an issue or some sort of disorder.
So I guess probably at this time right now, they probably are under the assumption that maybe he's talking to a so-called black woman, man. All right, but when they see that she's a so-called white woman, you know, they can go or feel about it two type of ways. Either one, they don't want him being a so-called black man dealing with a white woman, or two, you know, they can look at her as, you know, she looks like one of them, you know, so-called white women that deal with black men, all right? But if she was one of those pristine, you know, what they call Southern Belle white women, they would have probably slammed this Jake up on his head a long time ago, all right? So you got to understand where you at, Jake, man. Got to keep telling you that this is not your rest, all right?
Between them, we got to do something about it.
As the officers attempt to leave, Derrick starts throwing items off the balcony.
I'm just going to tell him to not. Hey, Derrick.
Bro, I thought y'all left.
Well, listen, man, you're throwing stuff outside the balcony. You can't throw stuff outside.
Bro, I'm throwing her clothes, bro.
Okay, but you can't throw her stuff outside of the balcony.
Come up, bro.
Listen, you can't throw stuff outside. If you want to do stuff in here, that's on you. But dude, when you're throwing stuff outside, that's not your property.
Okay, bro. Thanks for letting me know, bro.
So then a ticket?
Yeah, I'm still right.
Okay. Here's the deal, man. You're still getting a ticket.
Okay, bro. That's cool, bro. Don't worry about
So now we got to wait.
Wait for what?
Write out the ticket before we can leave. Man, just hang out for a second. You are right now under arrest for disorderly conduct. We're writing you a ticket. Just hang tight, okay? We tried to be cool with you, man.
Bro, I thought y'all left, bro.
We did, man, but you're throwing stuff out the window.
Hello. Bro, can you come get me? She the one who out cheating. For real, the police here, they all in my face, bro. Come get me, bro. For real. All right.
Hang tight,
She come, bro.
Okay, but hang tight.
She coming?
I know, but we
I
gotta
gotta get my stuff.
Okay, but you gotta hang tight. How much stuff are you trying to grab? Backpack full, suitcase? Do you know how much?
Bro, all my stuff right here, bro. Bro, where's the ticket? It don't take this long. It take that long to write a ticket.
He's got to write it out, man, by
Bro,
hand.
no, bro. Every
It's
time
not
I
just
pull
printed.
over, y'all write that in 2 seconds, bro.
Derrick's girlfriend now arrives.
What the f*** is wrong with
What's
you,
wrong with you,
Derrick?
bro?
Derrick, I swear to f***,
You swear to God, what, bro?
I'm gonna kill you. What the f*** is wrong?
Now, he does have a point. She did come in and make a threat. You heard him, okay? But as the officer's going to say at the end of this video, he didn't perceive that threat as an actual threat because he didn't think that she was going to actually do that. Okay? But it just goes more to show you that, hey, the law is not on your side if you're not doing what's required of you by what the Most High tells you to. Okay? So, you know, Jake, you fighting the uphill battle, man, which you ain't gonna win unless you got Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shah on your side.
What's that called, bro? Ain't that a violation or something? She just said she gonna kill me. That's a threat, bro. Arrest her.
Derrick, get your
I already got my stuff, bro. You late, bro. You late.
Well, get the out!
Hold on. Stop. Don't listen. Derrick. Words there.
Yelling at me, bro.
You're not going anywhere, man. Just hang tight. Ma'am.
Oh my God!
Listen, I get it's stressful. Please.
I'm not gonna kill him.
What?
I'm not gonna do nothing.
Okay, but you need to be smart first off with your choice of words, please. And then I get it is stressful, but there's a better way to handle this, okay? What you're gonna have to do is you're gonna have to take him to court, okay? He obviously, because you guys live here, we kind of explained it to your roommate a little bit. You guys have shared property, so you're gonna have to take him to civil court for
No,
this.
this is mine. This is all mine. I'm good. I'm about to leave.
Had a good time at the airport, didn't you?
I had a good time at the airport.
In the hotel. Look at your laptop.
I'm gonna get all this shit. I'm gonna get all this shit.
So getting a laptop thrown at your face would be the least of her worries. If this was back in the ancient days, back in the ancient times, she would be taken out to the streets and stoned, man. Okay? But under this current rulership, man, you know, she's allowed to get away with this type of behavior because why? It's not executed speedily. It says, I believe, Ecclesiastes 8:11, because a judgment is not executed speedily, the wicked continues to go on about their way. Okay, brother, paraphrasing.
Stop right now. What are you doing back? Put your hands behind your back. Do not tense up on me, bro.
And that's what put him behind handcuffs, because he threw a laptop at her, which was perceived as domestic violence under this current rulership. But hey, they were stoning adulterers back in the days, back in the ancient days, man. And guess what? When we come into power, that's going to be put back in, it's going to be enforced back in the earth, man. All right? If your lady, your woman, your wife steps out on you with another man, both of them are going to be put down, okay? So laws, statute, commandments, and the judgments are coming back to this earth under the proper rulership, okay, of those that were supposed to be put into power, okay? You so-called blacks, Latinos, Native Americans, okay, going into the men, all right? The judges, the gods, the rulers, all right, of this earth.
Relax. Like that, bro.
Relax.
Derrick, my arm do not bend, bro. Bro, look at my right arm, bro. Don't bend like that. Bro, my arm do
Derrick,
not bend.
stop. Stop.
Bro, watch out, bro. Bro,
Stop. Derrick, relax.
my arm do not bend like that, bro.
I'm gonna have to
Hold on.
Stop.
Readjust the cuff. I swear to God, bro. If y'all, bro.
Stop tensing up.
Stop, bro. My arm bend like that, bro. I'm not doing nothing, bro.
You're twisting your arm.
Bro, my arm do not bend.
Stop.
Bro,
Relax.
Bro, I have to do it myself, bro. My arm do
Back,
not
please.
bend
Go ahead and
that
get
way,
back up
bro.
here.
Bro, oh my God, bro. Bro, take this fucking arm, bro.
Around your back. And we readjust. Yes, you can.
Bro, I can't.
And Becky is quick to play the role of the innocent damsel in distress, as if she didn't just get caught screwing another dude. All right? But now, see, and that's what Jake was going up against back in the 40s and 50s, man. All right? If you got caught staring at a so-called white woman, that was it for you, especially in those sundown towns, where once the sun go down, your black ass better not be out and about. Hey, man, they will hang you and tie you to the back of a truck and drag you down the street, man. all right? All because, you know, you would have Becky, you know, make a false allegation against you, and that would be enough, man. Oh yeah, he looked at me, or he whistled at me. All right, that was enough for them to get the pitchforks together and go out and hunt, you know?
Not, bro. I physically cannot move my arm, bro.
What's happening? What did I miss? See, she came here, he grabbed the laptop, threw it at her face.
But that's an event, bro. She said she gonna kill me. What? Y'all not arresting her? What the fuck you doing?
Did you guys see him throw it?
Yeah, he threw it right in front of my face.
Oh, okay. Hey, you're under arrest for domestic violence. Okay? So you're going to jail. Let's go. Nope, go.
We may look up that word or that phrase, domestic violence, okay? Because, hey, a woman step out on you, you well within your rights, okay? You know, but we understand we behind enemy lines, and, you know, although it's lawful, you know, it's not expedient. Because why? You'll be put behind bars, man. All right?
Jail. Don't care. Going to jail.
Let's go.
All right, bro. Can I put some clothes on, bro? Bro, I can't put no clothes on, bro. Bro, why you got me so aggressive?
Oh my God.
Stop, dude.
Bro, stop. What?
Relax.
Let's go to jail. Come on. We told
I don't
you.
even got no shoes on.
I don't care. That's your problem.
Bro, that's all right.
Stop it.
Bro, get off of me.
Relax.
Bro, get off of me, bro.
Relax. Do not try and run.
I'm not trying to run.
What was that? What? You're training for a marathon?
You know, to a certain extent, I will say the officers kind of understood the situation, because I guess these are a bunch of college kids. I don't want to say kids, but under the influence of the college lifestyle, you know, particularly that of the Bacchus, which was what? The god of wine and revelry, you know? So they probably understood to a certain extent that these are just college, you know, people doing what college people do, okay? Under that Bacchus spirit of wine and revelry. Sleep with whoever you want to sleep with, you know, join in the festivities, you know, because under that Bacchus spirit, you had swapping of all type of partners, man. Men on men, women on women, men on women, women on women, animals with women, animals with men, and all type of stuff under that Bacchus spirit, okay? So I guess the officers kind of understand to a certain extent that this is just a so-called college kid, you know, that's acting out from having his heart, quote unquote, broken, okay? So they really could have went a lot rougher than what they did on him, okay?
Now you're getting another resisting charge.
Bro, I'm trying to fix my arm, bro. My arm is not even on my back, bro. Look at my arm.
Relax.
Bro, oh my God, bro.
Bro, what happened to your arm? What's wrong? Something wrong with it?
Yeah.
All right, then I'll get you a squad.
Sit down.
I'm not playing the league,
All right,
bro.
we'll get you a squad.
Hey, his cell phone and his wallet's in your in the front. Okay, man. You guys okay?
Yeah.
Everything's one of the things. Go ahead and jump out for me, man. Step over here for us.
He's going to quarter here. He's going to be here for like an hour.
Listen, man, are you going to be cool down there? You're not going to give us any issues?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay.
You get where you're at. And I can't.
See, now he's removed from the scene, the crime of the scene of the crime. So now his wits are returning back to him. All right, he had to get slammed. He had to get taken from the place. And now he's coming back down to his, you know, his logical thinking, okay? So that's why we say, man, be careful, man, with these women, okay? They can cause you to lose your wits, all right? That's why you have to, you know, hey, pray, you know, first and foremost, pray to the Most High if it's even in your cards to even have a woman on this side, man. Because for the most part, they ain't nothing but trouble anyways, man. All right, and second, you have to use this wisdom, okay, that was imparted upon us through the Holy Spirit, these scriptures, all right, save you a lot of trouble, okay. So let's get a few precepts. And like I said, we may get that word or that phrase domestic violence. Let's look that up. So let's see what the definition of
domestic violence
means according to Esau. It says violent or aggressive behavior within the home, typically involving the violent abuse of a spouse or partner. Okay, so Esau Edom puts the act of you having retribution upon your wife as domestic violence, when in the law it says you're well within your rights. Okay, because why? She stepped out on you with another man and therefore committed what? Adultery. So you're well within your rights to what? Take her out. Cease from her being on this earth anymore. All right, and we're going to get it in the law. Okay, so let's look that up first. So let's read this out of Deuteronomy 22 and verse 13. It reads, if any man take a wife and go in unto her and hate her. So this is the act of having sex. Okay. It says, and give occasions of speech against her and bring up an evil name upon her and say, I took this woman, and when I came to her, I found her not a maid, which is a virgin. Okay. See, because back then in the ancient days, it meant something when you married a woman. Okay. She was a virgin. All right. She had not known any other man. Okay. But in today's society, that's rare. Okay. You're going to find, whoever you're talking to, that they had at least 2 or 3 different bodies on them by the time you talk to them. Okay. So it says, then shall the father of the damsel and mother take and bring forth the tokens of the damsel. Let me see if I can remove this out of the way. It says, then shall the father of the damsel and her mother take and bring forth the tokens of the damsel's virginity unto the elders of the city in the gate. Right. Because upon the marriage, they will go into the chamber, onto the tent, and then they will consummate the marriage by what? The man will go into the woman and take her virginity or pop her Heimlich, and they would do it on a sheet of white linen, and the blood that would come from him breaking the Heimlich of the woman would be the tokens of the virginity that he would then give to the father to show that what? That the woman was indeed a virgin, okay, and not known any other man. All right. And by doing so, he couldn't then put her away, because why? He humbled her. Okay. He went into her. All right. So the father would have proof in just the case that in case the man said, well, I went into her and she wasn't a virgin, and I want to do away with her. Well, the father can say, not so, because I have the tokens of virginity right here proving that she what? She truly indeed was a virgin. All right. And that is your possession. Okay. Because why? Women are possessions. Okay. Yes. Women are a man's possession. All right. And if you are already been possessed by another man, you're no longer that man's possession. Okay. That's why this thing was honorable. Okay. These type of marriages were honorable back in the ancient days. Okay. They weren't just a piece of paper that says you are married to this person here, like Esau Edom marriage is. No, it was an honorable thing back then. All right. That one woman would be with that man for the rest of her life. Okay. You see? Not you can just get a divorce at whatever you want, because he doesn't want to do this or he doesn't want to do that. No, you had to be with that man for the rest of your life. You was his property. You was his possession. Okay. It says verse 16, and the damsel's father shall say unto the elders, I gave my daughter unto this man to wife, and he hated her. And lo, he have given occasions of speech against her, saying, I found not thy daughter a maid, a virgin, and yet these are the tokens of my daughter's virginity. And they shall spread the cloth. See, when you went into the tent or into the chamber to consummate the marriage, you would have to have what they call sex on a cloth to break the Heimlich, so that the blood would come onto the sheet to show that what? That maid was truly indeed a virgin. And then those sheets, that cloth, would be handed to the father for proof, for just an occasion, in case the guy want to come back and bring up false allegations. Oh, she wasn't a virgin. Well, the proof says otherwise, okay? Because once you break that Heimlich, it's only a female only gets one Heimlich, okay? She only gets one. And when you break that amongst penetration, that's your property, okay? That's you taking ownership from the father, the previous owner, to now the husband, the newest and latest owner, okay? It says what? And the elders of that city should take that man and chastise him, right? See, you can't just be bringing up false charges just because you don't want to be with this woman anymore. It has to be relevant. She has to have stepped out on you with another man, all right? That's worthy. Or she has to not have been found to be a virgin after she told you she was a virgin, okay? Because let's say you got with this woman and she told you was a virgin, and you went into her and you found out that her Heimlich has already been popped or is not present anymore. Well, that's a case for you to what? Put her away. Because why? She lied, okay? You can get a bill of divorce because why? She's not a virgin, okay? She's already known somebody. She's already been humbled by someone prior, but she's trying to play the role as a virgin. It says, verse 18, and the elders of that city shall take that man and chastise him, and they shall immerse him in 100 shekels of silver. Right? You just can't be making false claims and don't have to pay. Okay? You're going to have to pay. It says, and give them unto the father of the damsel. Right? So that would deter you from just making bold statements and false claims that what? You're going to have to pay how many pieces of shekel? Let's see. And they shall immerse him in 100 shekels of silver. That's a lot to be making false claims. See, that deters men from just going into women and saying, oh, she was a virgin. I mean, she wasn't a virgin. When if you got to make that claim and stand behind it, and you have to pay 100 pieces of silver shekel, you ain't going to want to make bold and lies and false claims like that. It says, and give them into the father of the damsel, because he have brought up an evil name upon a virgin of Israel. Okay? And she shall be his wife. He may not put her away all his days. You see? That's why it's important, man. Okay? That you know who you laying down with, man. Okay? Whether or not she is for the streets, as they say, or whether or not she's quote unquote wifey material. And I'm just gonna put it out there. 99.999% of the women that you come across and talk to today aren't wifey material here on this side, man. Okay? They're just not. All right. So you have to wait into the kingdom to get those wives. Okay. And yes, you're gonna have concubines as well. Okay. Women of other nations. All right. It says, but if this thing be true, and the tokens of virginity be not found for the damsel. Let me see if I skipped anything on verse 19. And they shall immerse him in 100 shekels of silver, and give them unto the father of the damsel, because he have brought up an evil name upon a virgin of Israel, and she shall be his wife. He may not put her away all his days. Right? So that's your wife, because why? You humbled her, okay? And you can't put her away all your days, man. All right? See, it's order. You know, you can have as many women as you want, but it has to be done decent and in order, okay? You can't just be sleeping around with just because you want to sleep with her and put her away because you don't want to have anything to do with her anymore. No, that's a responsibility, okay? That's a responsibility. See, if you knew that, hey, if I sleep with her, if I break her Heimlich, I got to be with her for the rest of my days. How many more women are you gonna want to deal with for the rest of your days? You know, you may only want one like that, or two or three, okay? But see, this culture, the Bacchus culture, you know, you sleep with whoever you want and participate in revelry. You know, you can sleep around with however many women you want and don't have to worry about any type of consequences. You know, why? Because they got contraceptives, okay? Plan B, or you know all the things they got. The abortion clinic, you know, all type of ways, okay? So it says, but if this thing be true, and the tokens of virginity be not found for the damsel, so if the man is actually telling the truth, and there's no tokens of slacking, and there's no tokens of virginity being found of the damsel, meaning that if the father can't produce the tokens of virginity, because why? His daughter was truly indeed a whore or an adulteress. Okay? It says, then 21, shall they bring out the damsel to the door of her father's house, and the men of her city shall stone her with stones that she die. This sounds like domestic violence, man. Okay? The man brought up the charges on the woman, and the woman was found guilty, and they brought her out to the streets and stoned her. Okay? It says, because she have wrought folly in Israel to play the whore in her father's house, so shalt thou put evil away from among you. You see, if a man be found lying with a woman married to an husband, then they shall both of them die. So if the man be found out, especially, it says, if a man be found lying, okay? So he's been found that he's lied, he done had sex with her, he done lied down with her, and done committed fornication with her, with a woman married to a husband, and they shall both of them die. Both the man that lay with the woman and the woman. So shall thou put away evil from Israel. You see? So not only the woman will be put away from Israel for her folly, but the man as well. Because why? He was found lying with a married woman. Okay? He knew she was married. All right? And hey, a lot of these damn women don't even tell you that they married. Okay? They take their ring off, which, you know, that ring goes into serving, well, I forgot the name of the goddess, but it was the goddess that represent the vein of the heart, because in Babylon or in ancient Egypt, they believe the ring finger had a vein that connected straight to your heart, and that's why they put the ring on that finger particular. Okay? It says 22, if a man be found lying with a woman married to a husband, then they shall both of them die. Both the man that lie with the woman and the woman. So shall thou put away evil from Israel. All right? So yeah, okay. You see, domestic violence is a term that Esau Edom puts on what should be considered justice. Okay? A woman steps out on you and is found lying with another man that she's supposed to be a spouse to you. Guess what? Both of them supposed to be put out, man. All right, but under this wicked rule, under this wicked judicial system, this court, you know, it doesn't have anything to do with the law, statutes, and commandments, although they say they do. It's just a bunch of lies. Let's see if we can do that. Look for that. What hast thou to do, seeing thou hatest correction? I believe that's in Psalms. One second. All right, this is the book of Psalms, chapter 50 and verse 16. It reads, "But unto the wicked the Most High saith, What hast thou to do to declare my statutes, or that thou shouldest take my covenant in thy mouth?" You see? So these are the same individuals, these Edomites, that when you go to court, they tell you to put your hand on the Bible and swear, but yet they don't uphold the laws of the Bible, or the commandments, or the judgments. Verse 17, "Seeing thou hatest instruction, and castest my words behind thee," right? Because if they upheld the law as they claim to be a God-fearing country, then guess what? They would give that man, or should I say they would give Derrick the rights to what? Take her out and hand him a firearm and allow him to put her away, man. Put her down, should I say. All right? He has the evidence of her cheating on the Apple Watch that she had, and he has the evidence of her concurring that, yeah, she went to the airport to pick up her, estranged lover or whatever you want to call him, and have marital affairs with. So by that case, the officer is supposed to say, you know what, Derrick, you're well within your rights. Matter of fact, here is a firearm for you to take her out and what? Put her down, man. Okay? But no, you see, because we under this man's jurisdiction, we ain't gonna get justice. Okay? That's why you have to understand, man, you have to count these things as losses. Okay? For what? Yahweh Shah's sake, man. All right? You may not get a woman, you may not have a woman for a while, but hey, as long as it's for the right cause and purpose, that's okay, man. All right, long as you giving it up for Yahweh B'Hashem, Yahweh Shah's sake, that's okay. Okay? So it says, "Seeing thou hatest instruction, and castest my word behind thee." Right? You see? So don't think just because, oh yeah, that's what I wanted to bring up, Ecclesiastes 8. This is Ecclesiastes 8:11. Because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily, therefore the heart of the sons of men is fully set in them to do evil. So don't think just because, you get away with cheating or lying around with other people's wives or, whatever, that you're going to get away with it, okay? Because understand, we're under grace and mercy, okay? But once those doors of mercy are shut and judgment goes out, you're going to have to pay for your sins. Because why? You didn't repent. You kept doing it. And you see, this is what this society breeds, that the Bacchus spirit of wine and revelry. Sleep with whoever you want, okay? Well, guess what? If you keep doing that until the days of mercy, the doors of mercy are closed, guess what? When judgment goes out, you will be judged, okay? Because why? You didn't repent when you had time. You didn't want to turn back. You wanted to continue to, stay in your folly, man. Okay? This is 1 Corinthians. Understanding that we behind enemy lines is going to go a long way with your mental faculties, okay? Because see, if you don't understand that you in another man's kingdom or society, you're going to think you're supposed to get judgment. You're supposed to get justice. Well, you ain't going to get justice on this side, Jake. All right, we're going to eat our bread defiled. That includes our women as well, man. Everything we have here is going to be defiled, okay? This is 1 Corinthians 6 and verse 12. It reads, all things are lawful unto me. So being well within your right after finding out your woman has stepped out on you with another man is lawful, okay? According to the Holy Bible, we know under this man's society kingdom that he doesn't implement the law, statute, commandments, and judgments of this Holy Bible, all right? He only uses it for what? To get you so that he can have you swear and then falsely accuse you in front of the Father, as it says in Revelation 12 and 10, okay? So that he can what? Keep us in sin by swearing on the Holy Bible, man, all right? When we're not supposed to swear it. Our answers are supposed to be yay or nay. All right, but see, if he can get you to put your hand on the Bible and swear and commit sin, then he can stay in power a little bit longer. Okay, so it says all things are lawful unto me, but all things are not expedient. You see, you have to use discernment, man. All right, if you go and you catch your woman cheating on you, and you catch her in the act lying with another man, you can't just put both of them out of their misery, okay? Because why? Your ass will be hauled off into jail, man, okay? Where you'll be what? Put behind bars to be what? A slave, okay? It says, all things are lawful for me, but I will not be brought under the power of any. So you have to have discernment, man, okay? You have to understand that, hey, if your woman step out on you, as much as it's going to hurt you, you got to let her go, man. And don't take her back. You see? That's what Jake mess up at, man. All right? He'll take her back after she done already slept around with someone else and even had a child by someone else. Jake will still want to take her back, man. Let her go, man. Okay? She's for the streets. All right? So let's read that again. 1 Corinthians 6 and 12. It says, all things are lawful unto me, but all things are not expedient. So we understand, we behind enemy lines, man. We ain't gonna get no justice here. Okay, this is not our rest. All right. We were brought here for particular reason, disobeying the law, not keeping the commandments, disobeying the Most High. He destroyed us for lack of knowledge, because why? We rejected knowledge. So we were brought here for that purpose, and then we were supposed to wake up to that after a time being and repent, which is what we currently in the time now of repenting for what? Judgment comes. So it says, all things are lawful unto me, but all things are not expedient. All things are lawful for me, but I will not be brought under the power of any. So you have to use discernment, man, because if you try to bring judgment and bring up this into the court and say, hey, I swear on the Bible, I was well within my rights. She stepped out on me, and you bring up the law. They're gonna look at you and hey, they may be confounded, but then again, they may say, hey, well, they're gonna be stuck, man, because they can't use that. But you can't use that against them, because why? Esau, Edom are gonna throw the book at you anyways, man. All right. Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, he's going to throw the book at you anyways. Because why? He doesn't believe in this Bible, man. All right? It's just used to get you to sin, okay? If you show him this law and tell him that, they ain't going to use Christ as mercy. Oh, well, Jesus Christ says we should be merciful and repent. And forgive sins. You see? That's why they got to just do away with having people swear on the Bible, man. Okay, because it's found out more and more that they don't believe. All right. So all things are lawful, but not all things are expedient, man. You got to understand where you at. Okay, you in another man's kingdom. Okay, so move accordingly, man. This is 1 Ezra 4:26. It reads, yea, many there be that have run out of their wits for women. All right, this is what you see, man. You seen a Jake that's crying over spilled milk, man. You know, more than likely, she had already slept around with other people before she met you. Okay? You seen her. She's loose like that to take off her shirt and walk around her bra in front of other men, including the police officers. She don't give a damn about you, man. She for the streets. Let her go, man. It says, yea, many there be that have run out of their wits for women and become servants for their sakes. Right? That's why you seen Jake throwing shit around and throwing her clothes out the damn balcony, man. That's some hoe-ass women behavior, man. Okay? You pretty much a slave to her. You a servant now, man. She done got you. She controls you, man, to the fact that you overly emotionally charged over her because she stepped out on you. Now you throwing her shit off the balcony like a damn little female, man. Next thing you'll be setting her clothes on fire, man. But this is what to be expected under this damn wicked rulership. It says, verse 27, many also have perished. Right. A lot of people, should I say a lot of men are 6 feet under because of women too, man. All right. Have erred in sin for women. Right. Because men go into the situation knowing that for the most part she married, but they don't care. Because why? A judgment is not executed speedily. They can continue to sleep around with her and don't get any type of repercussions. They don't get the husband coming in, walking in with a 9, putting it to his head and doing what he's supposed to do. Or they don't get, sometimes they do get judged in the sense that they'll get a STDDD, you know what I mean? Or some other type of pestilence, okay? But for the most part, if they walk away with it unscathed, they think they good to go for the next time. You see? So it says, many also have perished, have erred in sin for women. Right. Sleeping around knowing she's married, man. All right. They don't care. Wow. They get in the box, man. See? That's the type of mentality, vibration that this kingdom, this wicked kingdom is put on its inhabitants, its citizens. Okay. That's why the Most High has separated that small remnant, okay? This portion of Jacob is not like the others, man, okay? He's kept that cluster for himself, okay? That small remnant, all right, known as the elect, that's going to realize their errors and do what? Make a drastic change and no longer do it, okay? So understanding this, we have to move accordingly, all right, to what the word says. So that's going to wrap it up. We're going to close out with 1 Peter 5 and 8, and we're going to take it from there. This is the book of 1 Peter, chapter 5 and verse 8. It reads, be sober, be vigilant. So understanding where you at and what time you in is going to give all the more credence to how you operate, okay? Knowing that you can't lose your wits over these damn women, man. They going to do what they going to do because why? They entitled to, or they've been empowered to by this damn serpent, man. All right? They don't have any accountability, okay? You can't get mad at them and hit them or punch them or throw a laptop at them or even take them out, man. Because why? The serpent has empowered them to do what it is that they do. All right? And the serpent's going to make money on that because why? He's going to tell you to get a divorce. Well, what? You got to pay to get that divorce, okay? And some Jake can't afford it because why? They get that divorce, she going to get half of what he got, okay? So the system is set up to what? To destroy you, man. All right, that's why you got to be wise as a serpent and harmless as a dove, man, to know that these women, they're not worth it for the majority, okay? For the most part, they're not worth it, man, okay? You trying to marry an adulteress because she's already done stepped out by the time she met you on the first guy she done slept with, and you trying to make her something that she ain't, it just ain't gonna work, man. You gonna have to pretty much suppress who you are in order to try to please her, man. And you're gonna be living in misery your whole time being with her, man. Until you no longer, if you in the truth, you're gonna fall out, man. If you put the woman first, you see, you're gonna suppress who you are to try to appease her. All right, and you can't do that, man. All right, a lot of our forefathers, they erred in that way. Okay, they put the woman before they put the word of the Heavenly Father, man. Okay, so we have to learn from the scriptures, as it says in Romans 15 and 4. Everything that was written aforetime was written for our learning, man. To know that the woman is the downfall of plenty. Okay, that error that leave these scriptures. Okay. The scripture is put into place to keep you what? Grounded, to keep you solid, to keep you, aware of the serpent in the woman. So it says, be sober, be vigilant. Why? Because your adversary, the devil, and it goes into the woman as well, man. Okay? Because she's in league with the serpent. Okay? It says, as a roaring lion walketh about seeking whom he may devour, or she may devour. Okay, this time the person that was devoured was Derrick. Okay, he gonna get brought up on charges of DV, domestic, the other word, and who knows how that's going to impact him moving forward and searching for employment or whatever. Okay, so you just have to be very aware of your surroundings, man, and know exactly where you're at, and know that this is not your resting place. Okay, knowing that is going to change your movement and how you move around under enemy's lines. All right, so that's gonna be it. We're gonna wrap it up. With that being said, pray someone was edified through this lesson, and until the next time, if it be the Lord's will, stay strong, stay in the faith. We almost home. Shalom. Peace.